Hello, everybody. This is Julie D, and I'm here on Zoom today talking to Kevin. And Kevin, tell everybody the different entities that you are utilizing these days.
Hello. We have, yes. Hi. No, yeah, we have several different names that we use. Everybody listening to this probably knows one of the two. It's the San Diego Taco Factory or Epoche International Kitchen. In the catering world, we do have the San Diego Pasta Forge and the San Diego Soup and Wrap Factory. Now there are six more coming down, so we're going to be very excited about those. And I got some really good news for you. So as we get into it, I'm going to tell you the good news.
Okay, cool. Well, everybody has to listen to the end to find out what that is.
Yes.
That's what we call a teaser. Okay, so I always want to start these shows with you talking about like one of your favorite dishes or one of your favorite items.
Well, one of our, I create all of these, so they're all my favorite. But I do have to say that I know, since we moved over to Market Wagon, rather than opening a restaurant, and we'll talk about that in a minute, the evolution of Epoche and the San Diego Taco Factory. But now we are launching all of our international sauces you can purchase on Market Wagon here, not today, but in the next couple of days as we get those uploaded. We kind of, I kind of figure like, why am I robbing people of the joy of all of these sauces? You can put it on any kind of beef, I'm sorry, any kind of meat. You can grill it, you can bake it, you can baste it. And it, because they're all natural, I make them, no fillers, no preservatives, and none of that bad stuff. Indonesian sweet soy that's imported, all this delicious food, and they naturally become sticky. So rather than talk about one dish, I would just say, if you enjoyed any of our bowls at Epoche, you can definitely pick up the sauces on Market Wagon. They'll be delivered to your house on Thursday in Northeast Ohio, or Toledo. And then in Columbus and Cincinnati, you can get them delivered to your door Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I think that, yeah, just have at it. They're fantastic sauces, marinades, dips. You can baste them on meat. You can, bake with them. They're very, very versatile. So those are my pride and joy of Epoche. Those sauces are.
Wow. That's great. Whenever I talk to you, I always get very hungry.
Yeah. By the way, we are going to have all of our sauces. So we are going to start limiting the bowls, as in, you can get a bowl and you can heat it up because, here at Epoche and San Diego Taco and all of our companies, we're all about fresh. And those bowls, I've got to tell you, are meant to be eaten while they're hot. And of course, it tastes great the next day. We all know this. But those bowls are super delicious. And so now you can just get the sauce and make your own. Fantastic.
Right. And then you have sides and, salsas and chutneys. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, everything that people have come to love about these two great companies and the other two that a lot of offices and corporate offices know from the Pasta Forge and the San Diego Soup and Wrap Factory. All of those sides and, the chutneys and the chilies and the salsas and the sauces and the aiolis and all the other fun stuff will all be up for purchase on Market Wagon. So now we're just going to spread the joy of love, food-wise, to everybody. And you don't have to order catering to get them. So we are going full menu, and we're bringing back a lot of the sides that people really miss from the Pasta Forge and the soup and wrap. So we're very, very excited. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but some of them are already up, and
Stay
they
tuned.
are, yeah, right. But I'm going to tell you that we're trending on Market Wagon. We've been on Market Wagon 17 days, and we are already trending. Like 5, we got an email and there was 8 items on it. We were on 5 of them. So from the pico de gallo, the avocado lime crema, yeah, all that fantastic stuff. The stuff that you couldn't buy bulk from us when we had a restaurant or catering. Now you can buy as much as you want of it, and I think that that's just great. And as we start to pivot the company away from retail, I think that it's a win-win for all the customers, because they can still have all the freshness that they've come to love from our brands without us having to open a restaurant.
Now, you were telling me off camera that you already have almost 200 items purchased on Market Wagon as of like today, which is around 5 o'clock on the 11th of July. And there's more days to order. So, I mean, this is going to be a huge week for you.
We are absolutely just gobsmacked when we went on Market Wagon, and this is, of course, everybody who works with me and knows me. My first reaction is, we'll see, right? So, but
Cautiously optimistic.
Right, cautiously optimistic is putting it lightly. I wasn't. I was like, who's going to buy our pico de gallo or our pineapple mango chutney? I mean, I like it because I created them, but I think that I was just in my own mind. And in the first week, we sold 161 items, and I was just blown away. And then we opened up the Toledo, Columbus, and the Cincinnati markets for Market Wagon. And yeah, so now we are above 200. We're going to be well above 200, if not 300 by the time ordering closes. And it's really keeping us on our toes. People are trusting us for fresh, bold, and brash. That's what we're known for, of all of these fantastic flavors and everything that they order. And it's fantastic. So I can definitely tell you that I was wrong. So yeah, absolutely. And it's a great thing. It's a great thing. I'm glad that people still love our food. I'm glad that a lot of people have hung in there with these brands. I know that, and I do apologize. I put our fan base through a lot of, we're going here, we're going there. So I really tormented them, and that was not my intention. But
yeah, let's talk about that a little.
Yeah.
So one of the things that what you were talking about doing was opening a creamery gelato place in Sagamore Hills.
Right. So before I had a corporate staff, I had no filters. So everybody was hearing what we were doing in real time. I was one owner. I didn't have directors and vice presidents and all these other great people that we have now. I was one guy that wore like 15 different hats. So now we have branding, and we have systems management. We have all these other great people. Now they're my filter. So we got quiet because naturally the customers aren't hearing my thoughts in real time. When I closed Aurora, we were supposed to move to Twinsburg like 50 times, and people are like, God, Kevin, you can't make up your mind. What's the matter with you? Are you going, you staying, you going, you staying? And I really get that. Looking back on it, I definitely should have stayed quiet, but I am a chef through and through. I love to feed people, and I get excited when I get to feed people. And I just want everybody to eat and never stop eating, because that's just the joy of life. And I wanted it so bad that I, went ahead and I shared my thoughts in real time. And as normal companies do, you can look for 50 spaces and one may not come through. Just that's just the nature of business. Something happens. It's, structural, it's inspections, it's, permits, it's zoning. I mean, there's 100 different variables out there. But that I wasn't sharing. I was, I just got excited and, moving ahead, and then something would happen and it would fall through. And
For
that is
example,
what,
I know that you were trying to buy hoods for your location in Sagamore. You got pricing in the fall, and then when you went to purchase them in the spring, of course, the cost had skyrocketed.
right. So, and before I go into that, I'm going to tell you that, right, that this, the Sagamore Hills is why I have a corporate staff now, because that was yes, we did purchase, I'm sorry, we rented a space. It was supposed to be, we had gotten pricing pre-pandemic. We did not think for 1 minute, of course, see, that's where I was sharing time, sharing thoughts in real time. Yeah, the prices of hoods, not the hood itself, but to have them installed,
Oh, right,
quintuple. Yeah.
right.
So they quintuple. And we were looking, so from 15,000, it is now 60 to 80,000. And that doesn't include, welding certificates and permits and all this other stuff. That's just for the people to come out, because that in itself is a very specialized trade. So, but that was the last time that we shared thoughts in real time.
Right.
So,
Well, maybe you can sell gelato on Market Wagon.
yeah. So, the evolution of the Pocky and the San Diego Taco Factory. I do apologize to all of our fan base. I really sincerely do. Looking back, it probably was a nightmare, and I really appreciate everybody that has stood with us, and that still love our food, and they are. There are a lot of them. They're just kind of like, well, hopefully he opens, and hopefully he stays open, and I think that that's justified. But I really think that these two brands and all of our brands have found their lane. I think that we really, really found our lane in Market Wagon. We don't have the expense and the uncertainty of operating a restaurant in today's business world for restaurants. As you see, a lot of small businesses, restaurants are closing. A lot of them are struggling. And now we have uncertainty in the labor markets, uncertainty in the commodities markets. Chicken today is $1.93 per pound, when just 4 days ago it was $2.89 per pound. We don't know what tomorrow holds. And as you know, the restaurants usually only do 7 to 10% margin. So that creates a lot of anxiety. And, I hope that, we get customers and all this other stuff swirling around. But that's done because with Market Wagon, we can take time, we can put love and care into our food like we used to, and we know what we have, so we know what to purchase. It's virtually zero waste. And we can run with a smaller crew because we know exactly what we're going to do. And
Yeah, well, yeah, I just want to stop you there real quick.
yeah.
When you operate a restaurant, you have to guess for the week what people are going to order, what's hot, and it's like you said, there's probably a lot of waste. So, with the restaurant industry being volatile right now, there was a time when you had mentioned that you were going to go in the Loose Moose location. And that's when I think a lot of red flags showed up, showing you that, you know, it's probably not a good thing to do right now. And maybe there's other ways of getting food into people's homes besides having a restaurant and having to deal with wait staff and cleaning the tables and a lot of other moving parts. You got rid of all of that. And it's now all about, taking the time, having a small crew of people and doing it this new this new, really a new way of serve, because no one is using Market Wagon the way you are.
No, no, and I think, you know, the the San Diego Taco Factory launched delivery in 2016. Um, and people were just not paying $3 for delivery. They were just irate. But we did it anyways. And throughout these years, we've kind of become like the first in market to do a lot of stuff. The ways we do business, and you're absolutely right. Nobody else is on Market Wagon doing what we're doing. So I think it's a great thing, and I think that, you know, we have our foot in the door, and I think that all of our brands are going to do very, very well. I know that I've, you know, eaten at countless restaurants, and in the you know medium of where, you know, in the arena, I should say, of where the Taco Factory and Epoche fits in. We are the only restaurants, well, food service. We're not even restaurants, but we're a quasi restaurant. Um, you know, in our market, to be providing something like this, with the freshness that we have. So yeah, we're absolutely doing well. We're going to be doing even better as we start really, really ramping up, and it's exciting, very exciting.
Now, at the beginning of the show, you mentioned something new you were going to talk about at the end.
Right. So I did promise the Epoche International Creamery and Sugar Works I cannot put it into a physical location, but we can bring it to Market Wagon. So that is exactly what we're going to do. We are going to do limited runs of our gelatos and of our true French ice cream and Dame LeBlanche and all that fantastic stuff with the opera cakes and Dabash torts and the sugars, you know, all the fantastic sugar works. Those will be coming to Market Wagon in the near future in limited batches. So once, you know, once it's sold out for that time being. And we're going to be, when you order from Market Wagon, we're going to be adding in, you know, flyers and stuff like that. But the followers of Epoche and the San Diego Taco Factory on Market Wagon, we're going to send out a message. And we're going to be like, you know, the Epoche International Creamery is launching, and we're going to be doing, you know, X amount of gelato. It's not going to be a lot of in the batch. And would you like so? And then whatever's left over, that's what we actually put up to the public. So yeah, it's going to be super exciting because, you know, if you like real gelato, this is about as real as it gets.
So that definitely means that people need to follow the Pocky International Kitchen page, or the San Diego Taco Factory page, because that's where all you're going to be putting your brand new stuff. Well, and of course, jabbering with Julie.
Jabbering with Julie. Yeah, so Jabbering with Julie gets it first, and then the messages will go out to via Market Wagon on their platform. We can message our followers. Then it'll go out there, and then if there's any left over, then we'll just open it up, and, you know, of course, it has like a little thing. There's 10 left or 9 left or how many ever, and it's going to be fantastic. But we are also adding all of our sides. So, you know, when you look at our menu today, check back in 2 days because we've probably already added and or deleted some products. But if they get deleted, they'll be back. You just have to type out a question on the Market Wagon platform, and we'll respond to it.
Yeah, and if they order something and then you delete it, obviously you'll still fulfill that order too.
Yes, right, absolutely. So once you've ordered it and it goes off cycle, you absolutely, that's still going to arrive at your door. It's just that no new orders for that item will come through. But if you order it yesterday and today it's not on the menus yet, do not fret. It's still going to come to your door. We're just not accepting any new orders for that item until it comes back on cycle.
Yeah,
So
let's talk about on your doorstep. And because I did order some of your delicious food, and the tote arrived on my doorstep, Thursday morning. It came in like a black tote, and it had like a dry ice pack in it, and all of the food you had shrink. What do you call that? Cater wrap or whatever?
cater
Um,
wrap.
Cater wrapped.
Yes.
And it was snug, secure, and of course, delicious. Just tore into it like crazy woman. Because it's hard when you go days without having Epoche and San Diego Taco Factory. So it's like you just rip it open. But it was definitely very fresh and delicious, and it disappeared, quickly. So I just want people to know how it kind of like comes on their doorstep, and it's kind of fun. You come home and there it is, and it lasts for hours out on your doorstep. But obviously, you want to bring it in as soon as you can. I mean, some people work all day and they come home and they find that on their doorstep, and they'd be so happy.
Yeah, and yeah, the dry ice will keep it at temperature. Um, the dry ice definitely helps. It keeps it at temperature well below the 41 degrees, and that is we're really happy to be partnering with Market Wagon. Quality is a huge issue with us, and maintaining the quality of all of our food, and they really have it down. From how it's we take our food in dry ice over to their location, and we actually our people put it inside of your bag and make sure. And then, of course, both parties, Market Wagon and our drivers, make sure that more dry ice is added to it. And then it's zipped up and it's delivered very, very quickly. And yeah, they definitely have their logistics down. So it's a fantastic thing.
And
Uh,
didn't they celebrate just 1 year, their first year?
yeah, they did. So they just celebrated 1 year. And they're opening more markets every month or so. They have some new markets opening, and I mean, it's an online farmers market. That's how it started. And as all of our companies are, they pivot toward customer demand. So you can get fresh vegetables, soups, bakery items, and now you can get Epoche in San Diego Taco Factory. And yeah, so I think it's a win-win for our customers and for Market Wagon, for our company. Now things don't look, things are looking very, very bright. We can still provide our food, we can maintain our costs. The customers and our loyal fan base on both companies can get our food, and all they have to do is warm it up. And I think that's just a fantastic it's just a fantastic thing. And with our office lunches now, those are getting to be a real hit. They're dropped off on Thursday. Some people are ordering 4 and 5, and they take them to work and they pop them in the microwave at work, and they can have a Pocky or San Diego Taco Factory. So they don't have to run out, and it's cheaper than, I mean, it's cheaper than if we even did have a restaurant. And they know that the quality's there that you may or may not get on your hour lunch break, especially, I mean, I've operated a restaurant. When you get really, really busy, and, you spend 45 minutes in line waiting for your food. Now you got 15 minutes to scarf it down.
Right.
And unfortunately, yeah, well, I know that because unfortunately, when we had a restaurant, we did exactly that to people. And for that, I apologize. But yeah,
Well, I
it's
mean,
good, isn't it?
I can say one thing about Kevin, because I've known you for like, it's probably been a year now. You do the very best you can.
We try. I thank you for those words. We have the people that we have, and I have to be very honest. The people that we have want to come to work for our brand, and we've been very fortunate in finding some, absolutely fantastic people. Everybody in that building They love to hear the good reviews that actually makes them genuinely smile. They love to hear, the food was great. We loved it. Thank you. One of our newer people, actually, she was wearing an Epoche shirt and she got asked, I think 2 or 3 times, right? Oh, Epoche, we love Epoche. So um, I wish I could take credit for it all, but yeah, we've got some really good people. And
Well, you do take the credit because you make the food, which is what it's all about.
I'm just the cook, right? So I'm the cook, but you know what though? So going back really quick, I do have good filters. So maybe that's why we've been so radio silent, because they're like, Kevin, you probably shouldn't say that. Yeah, we're gonna stop you there, right? And that's good. That's good. That's really good, because I can't share my thoughts in real time, because you asked the poor fans of San Diego Taco Factory, and I was supposed to move into Twinsburg to like 100 different locations, and we were moving here and we were moving to the moon, and they're just like, oh my God. But yeah, so these
Didn't you
people are
say you're
great.
like a spicy hot mess? Wasn't that one of the things that
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was a spicy disaster. I
spicy
was just
disaster, that's what it was, right?
yeah, oh, we're moving over here today, and then we're gonna be moving over there, and I'm just like, and now I look back on it, I'm just like, oh, but we've it's definitely been an evolution, but we're here, we're on Market Wagon, and we
Hey,
have a
people may not know this. They talk about your food and everything, but they can actually order your chips from Market Wagon. One of the favorite items from your fans, I think.
yeah. So man, let me tell you. So in the description, right? Because everybody knows them as crack chips. That's what But apparently, we changed all the wording, because we do. Last thing we want to be is offensive to anybody.
Right.
So we did change that, all of the wording. Now it's just addictive chips, and they are. But I can't believe how many bags we're selling. That's crazy.
Yeah, and didn't
We're,
you say that one lady ordered chips and then she like said, "Can you bring me more?" I didn't order
yeah,
enough.
right. Yeah. So yeah, she called and she goes, I didn't realize how good they were. Can you bring over some more? And we're like, oh, we're just like, just order more from Market Wagon,
Right.
And if Thursday's too late, call the manager of Market Wagon and ask her to start a Tuesday delivery or something, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That could happen. Because isn't it that way in Cincinnati and Columbus? They both of those cities, you can order twice a week.
Right. So yes, you can order twice a week. Now, I do want to let everybody know that on Tuesdays, I'm sorry, on Thursdays for Northeast Ohio, the ordering stops Tuesday at midnight,
Right.
and then if you order at anytime after that, it's going to go on to the next week. For our Columbus and Cincinnati folk, Sunday night is the cutoff for the Tuesday deliveries, and of course, we would go Tuesday night for the Thursday deliveries at midnight. So make sure you get your orders in by then. We are only selling all of this great, fantastic food on Market Wagon. So our websites are still up now. They're under sdcater.com. It'll direct you right in to the whichever site. Just go under our brands, and you'll see all of our fantastic brands. But for the meals of what we're selling on Market Wagon is the only place you can get them.
Yeah, in the description for the show, I'll put the link to Market Wagon for them, so they don't have to go
Yeah.
hunting around for you.
Yes, and yeah, so it's exciting to see, and again, I just like to say thank you to all of our fans, and I did not know, and it really shocked me. I know that the San Diego Taco Factory has a hardcore base, like those people are some hardcore folk. And Epoche, when we opened up Epoche well, it was almost in the middle of the pandemic. I never thought it would take off. I said, I don't want to be pigeonholed to tacos again. The San Diego Taco Factory was closed. We closed it on June June 9th of 2020, permanently. And so I started Epoche, and I said, like everything I love to make, I'm just going to throw it on this menu, and then we'll see how it goes. And, by the time that Epoche closed, we had transitioned back into catering. I was really, really shocked at how many people loved that brand, loved it. I mean, they loved the food, they loved just everything about it. And I thought for sure that, the logo itself is just going to be, people are going to be like, nope, don't even want to try it. But they ended up loving the rainbow logo, the rainbow colored lettering on they loved everything about it. So definitely a learning lesson. And that's why when I got the San Diego Taco Factory name back, by chance, our attorneys got our name back for us. I said, you know what? I said, Epoche is, really, really just a surprise. So we're going to open it up. And we did. And can you believe that Epoche is eye to eye with the San Diego Taco Factory on orders?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But isn't it cool that you were able to get because I know you were in like a taco rut, and I think it just was like very freeing when you opened Epoche and you could make, really, the international kitchen can make anything.
Anything that I could muster up. Right. Epoche is ancient Greek for suspension of judgment. And there's many meanings behind that. One of them was that, I was known as Kevin the Taco Guy forever.
Right.
And we moved out and we opened up in a whole different, in the Macedonia, the Nordonia area.
Mm-hmm.
And they just took to Epoche. And I was just loving every minute of it. I just think of something in the middle of the night and I'd be like, oh, that's going on the menu tomorrow. And they're like, wow, this is really good. So yeah, it was nice not to be pigeonholed. But I was very fortunate that the lawyers worked out that I was able to get my name back, which we never thought would have happened. We lost the business in the pandemic, Chapter 7 and a whole bit. I thought it was gone. I put 8 years into the San Diego Taco Factory. It was like my fourth daughter. And it was absolutely devastating. So Epoche really did a lot for me, and of course for the customers too. But for me, it was kind of like a salvation. And so Epoche did a lot for me.
Hey, let's talk about
personally.
one more thing. Now,
Sure.
obviously, you don't have to worry about ordering or operating a restaurant, but there are still challenges for people like you that prepare food for people. You had to run to Lakewood for a special ingredient today, you were saying. So, I mean, that's a challenge that's ongoing.
You know what, though? I'll take those over operating a restaurant any day. So, yeah, we had to run to Lakewood because our suppliers were out of an ingredient that we use, and it's a specialized ingredient. So we had to run out there. Two of them actually, Cascabel chilies for our papaya Cascabel crema, which goes on the Hawaiian bowls. And one of our base ingredients for all of our marinades.
Right.
So I was like, and that's fine because I got to get out and go to Lakewood. I got to go see all the fun stuff. And I got to go to a Mexican restaurant out there, and it was good.
But I mean, that's how much you care about your food. It's like you're not gonna be like, oh well, I'll just substitute some other thing. It's like, no, and then some people probably would do that, but not you.
No, there's no substitution. So just as a quick thing, we went to Dayton for our tortillas. We had run out of 14-inch tortillas, and no supplier had them. The only supplier was in Dayton. So we've sent somebody to Dayton to go get 4 cases, and that's all they had.
Yeah, I think certain items has impacted lots of other, like for example, Starbucks, or certain items that they can't sell because they have trouble getting certain items. So, I mean, that's happening across the board.
It is. The commodity markets are a mess. And we're not going to get into the reasons why. I mean, we don't,
Right.
I really don't care um, why, but today we're suffering. So that's, whether it's going to be caramel, it's going to be napkins, it's going to be, forks, or it's beef, or it's just the condiments, or the base ingredients that we have to run all over Ohio for. Um, Coming out of the pandemic, the commodity markets are still a mess. They are getting better though. But for everybody that's listening, when you go into a restaurant and they don't have it, that's probably because there's none available.
Right.
And they may be, but I do want to also say that yes, maybe Giant Eagle or Heinen's or wherever your local grocer has them, but restaurants can't go in there and purchase, 550 pounds of it, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, and people, a lot of customers had told us, well, there's no, chicken shortage because Giant Eagles, it's all full of them. Well, there's two different divisions. So you have the retail division, you have the wholesale division. The retail, actually, customers pay more. The wholesale, we don't pay as much retail. That's why we can't go into Giant Eagle and buy 500 pounds. But the wholesale commodity markets are the ones that are suffering. So if a restaurant doesn't have it, that's probably because they probably can't get it. But hopefully now they are calming down. Hopefully within the next 6 months to a year, we're being assured that the markets will return and the supply chains will return to normal. So, woohoo, hopefully.
Wow.
Fingers
I feel like
crossed.
I learned a little bit about the restaurant industry today.
Yeah,
Thank
a
you for
lot.
educating us.
I know, yeah.
Well,
But we're on market life.
I think we're gonna get going now, and we're gonna try to do this podcast every week, and you can educate people on the food industry and what you're up to. Every week there's something new with you. That is for sure.
There is, and rest assured that all the stuff that I talk about has probably been already run through my filters. So they're like, yeah, yep, this is fine, but this isn't fine. So, and that's good, right? Because you know me, right? Like we'll just, we'll be in the kitchen talking, and I'll just be like, oh, guess what? And then it never comes to pass. I'm just like, well, that's because you were in my thoughts real time. So in my little group, they probably think I'm like 10 shades of bat crazy, but everybody else, yeah, we'll definitely keep you informed through newsletters, market wagon messages. You can always email us, or you can call us. The corporate office, of course, is always accepting phone calls. Linda's great, 855-224-0222, or you can email us at info@SD Taco Factory. So if you have any questions or you want to see something, yeah, feel free. Feel free to shoot us a message or give us a call.
Well, thanks for the time talking to me today,
Yeah,
Kevin.
thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.